Must have finally started last year. Are you tired of dressing down for the summer? Do you feel the need to switch to a t-shirt and a pair of shorts because you'll feel more comfortable in the heat, but you miss looking sharp? Well, we're going to take a look at some fantastic options for looking smart in the summer, and the star of the show will be the Polo. John David Washington stars as a very Bond-like character in a very Bond-like movie, Tenet, directed by Christopher Nolan. But unfortunately, he did not make the cut to be the next director. Because between this movie Tenet and his other Bond-like movie Inception, it's clear that James Bond has had a huge influence on Christopher Nolan, not just on his movie content, but also on the clothing style within his movies. Hi, I'm Michael, and welcome to my channel for the love of suits. If you're new here, we try to find inspiration on how to dress well from the best dressed men on the screen. I drop a new video every Wednesday and shorts throughout the week. Well, it doesn't get much hotter than India in the summer. And here our star is wearing a sports coat on top of a polo shirt just to prove it's possible to look sharp no matter how hot the weather. This is a beautiful beige pink linen blend sports coat with notch lapels and patch pockets, very casual, very light, very breathable and possible to wear in hot weather. I also like the fact that it's a one-button piece, adding to its casual appearance. Although that doesn't really matter, you're hardly going to button up a jacket in this kind of heat. Many summer suits will be a blend of different fabrics. This looks like a classic summer sports coat, wool, linen and silk blend. Wool with an open weave can be very breathable. Linen, of course, is a classic hot weather fabric, and silk too, not as breathable as the other two, but it's cold to the touch and adds a nice sheen to the jacket. And underneath, he has paired it with a very nice cream-coloured knit polo. The two work very well together. They're not too close in tone and colour, but they complement each other nicely. And they're both light colours, so they work very well in the heat. And this is a classic expat, almost colonial setting here. The protagonist meets Neil, his future partner, in a bar. Neil is wearing a classic ivory linen suit. You'll see this classic look in hot weather in settings in movies all the way back to Casablanca. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt underneath and a necktie. However, it's most likely a linen shirt to keep him cool, and the necktie is not cinched too tightly. This is and isn't the coolest of clothing to wear in hot weather. You will look cool, but you may feel a little bit warmer with the full sleeves. And the next time we meet the protagonist, he's wearing a monochrome grey outfit. Even though he's back in London, it's probably the summer. And here he wears a beautiful grey Glencheck worsted wool sports coat. Again, notch lapels, keeping it nice and casual, with an ivory coloured knit polo underneath. He's wearing light grey pants to match, but I believe this jacket is actually part of a suit he wears elsewhere in the movie. If you're enjoying this video so far, then please hit that like button. And better yet, subscribe and hit the notifications bell. It really helps the channel and I really appreciate it. Also, check out our comments section. We have a great community there. And here in cooler weather, he wears a much heavier sports coat. Grey again, but probably flannel. It has a very nice texture to it. And he has matched it with a dark purple or burgundy polo shirt underneath. He has on mid-grey trousers and a pair of suede loafers, an absolutely perfect smart casual outfit. Neil, on the other hand, has stuck to his own personal style. He has on quite an extraordinary sports coat. It seems quite lightweight and it seems quite casual and breezy, especially the way he has looped the scarf around his neck. However, you will notice it has a shawl collar, which is usually reserved for formal wear. This is a very nice clash of styles, but he carries it off extremely well. I really like this style of silk scarf. It's there more for decoration than it is for warmth, just like a pocket square. And in the airport scene, Neil is still wearing the same clothes, obviously, but the protagonist has changed. He's got on grey pants, a navy jacket, and a navy polo shirt. Looking very smart. This is not that easy to pull off. Black and navy do not go well together often, and grey and navy also don't go well, but in this case, because of the texture of the pants versus the flatness of the jacket, they both work quite well. And you'll notice over his shoulder he's carrying one bag, and it's obviously carrying his suit. Always take your valuables on board with you. And today, in honour of this movie, I'm wearing a linen suit with a navy polo. The suit fabric is from Holland & Sherry and is a blend of linen and teklana. Teklana is a special fabric developed just by Holland & Sherry. It allows them to weave quite lightweight linens, but keep it strong. The polo shirt is from Suit Supply, and while it's very nice and comfortable, I'm not too thrilled about the colour. It often doesn't work well with the suit jacket. Surprising coming from a company called Suit Supply. Back in India again, this time with a much heavier grey sports coat on. It's most likely made from a high twist fabric, that is a very stiff tensile wool yarn. It allows it to leave plenty of holes in the fabric when it's woven, allowing it to be very breathable and it's suitable for wearing in hot weather. Wool, depending on how it's woven, can either keep you very warm or very cool. And underneath, another knit polo, this time a black one. I think this movie is an excellent catalogue of sports coats and polos. Which colour combination do you like best? Let me know in the comments below. And in the Mediterranean, the protagonist has lightened things up again. He's wearing a light grey polo with ivory pants and no jacket this time. The climate and the weather really does affect the kind of colours you can wear. That night for a special dinner, the protagonist has switched to a burgundy suit with a perfectly matching burgundy polo shirt underneath. Although you could wear this any time of day, this kind of dark burgundy works very well in nighttime scenes. Also, if you want to wear something different in a standout colour like burgundy, it's a good tip to keep it dark to stop you from looking too flashy. And I think this is the most casual we're ever going to see him in this entire movie. He's got on cream linen pants and a very interesting stripy shirt on top. I'm not sure about this one, what do you think? On board ship, he switched to some off-white linen pants and back to the black polo. And our spies are going for a casual stroll while they discuss how to save the world. The protagonist is wearing a very interesting mustard-coloured polo. Now he's toned it down with some beige pants and a dark burgundy jacket. Neil, on the other hand, sticking to his own personal style, has on some grey pants, a very interesting dark green shirt, but an even darker window pane sports coat. Neil is keeping it quite monochrome, while the protagonist is playing with the very safe two-colour scheme. Another meeting with Priya and another dark grey jacket. Nice and casual, this time he has on a green polo underneath, which gives it a bit of a lift. The green is not too strong, but maybe if it was all grey, it would be a little bit dull. Introducing a muted colour like green here makes it far more interesting. And of course, underneath, some light grey pants, so you're not providing too much clash between colours. You'll see a theme here between the two gentlemen of light grey pants, which really makes it much more flexible and easy to match clothing on top. And in his final meeting with Priya, this time back in London, he has on a beautiful light grey Glencheck suit with a purple polo shirt underneath. Well, now you've seen the amazing range of polo shirts that this gentleman has. I think you can easily use this movie as a colour palette to decide which combination you would like yourself. I would love to own them all. So, what do you make of the suit and polo look? It might not make an awful lot of sense if you live in a cold climate, but if you live in a hot country, it's a perfect way to dress and look smart at the same time. The suit and t-shirt look has been popular for a long time, but seems to have disappeared in the last couple of decades. The advantage of the polo shirt is, of course, that it has a collar, so it protects your suit jacket from sweat. So let me know in the comments what you wear when the mercury gets high. Thank you for watching to the end, really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week with a new video.